Today is the 9th day of October 2024. It's a Wednesday. Clock on the wall says that it is about 3 minutes past 8 o'clock in the morning. This is the Morning Muse. I seem to be in a particularly exuberant mood this morning. And I was prompted by two dear fellows in particular, Mr. Westgate and one of the Mirthlings who will remain anonymous for the time being. And the prompts were or had to do with time blocking in the context of habit looping and how to fill a form. So those are what I'm going to muse upon, kind of. So there's actually a whole bunch of things. This is a block, I suppose. You could construe this as a block. Looks like a block. A piece of paper, 3 holes in it. Rectangular, mostly. It's a block. And that relates to the habit looping in the sense that this muse, this format, has become habitual now. It's habituated as a consequence of repeating the same behavior at approximately the same time in the diurnal, weekly, monthly, seasonally, annual, choose your temporal frame. It's repetitive. It's a block of time, you might say, even though that, like, what's a block of time? We don't even know what time is, really. Hardly. It's like, if you really start to ponder time, good luck. Okay. So the point there is that if you block chunks of time for particular behaviors and repeat those behaviors, you could say ritualistically, you'll form a habit, almost invariably, maybe always. Okay, so that is the online resource, online, following the metaphor of the thread here, the golden thread. That's the online resource having to do with time blocking in the context of habit formation. Now, on to the filling the form. So what fills the form? So in this particular instance, it's a 10-minute temporal frame, give or take. And the express intent here is to follow the muse and allow the muse to fill the form, because extemporaneous speech, I find, is more honest than pre-scripted speech. And I'm interested in knowing, what do we say? The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Ha! The whole truth. How about just honest truth? Best of my ability. So, how to fill the form? The form has to do with the assertion that movement, so language, propositional mode, propositional mode is largely, if not entirely, linguistically mediated. The spoken word is, I believe, always downstream of actual action. The form to fill is necessarily dynamic. However, the bodies involved, human bodies, are, for most practical purposes, basically the same. Not always, but by and large. 2 feet, 2 hands, 20 digits, two arms, basically the anatomical stuff. So anatomically, those structures, the basic body, afford different forms of play. Actually playing in a first-person encounter, if carefully guided. Now the care of guiding has to do with who you're caring about, and you don't really know until you encounter. So then it's necessary to be able, if you want to be really careful in guiding play, you actually have to be, I believe, you have to have a very, no, that was an error. You must enjoy a deep and subtle sense of neurophysiological being. How do you do that? Through the careful study, at least, of models. What's going on in that other human body? How carefully, how subtly, how deeply can you imagine what's going on? This is a pretty dense piece of material. Yeah, block head. There we go with the blocking metaphor again. Dense, subtle, gorgeous, gorgeous. Somebody sent me a meme the other day that said, this bad boy is capable of going on all kinds of side quests. Which implies that there is a primary quest. And that primary quest, again, assertion of belief, is well represented in the fundamental metaphor of the golden thread. Yeah. Well, that was quite a meandering. One last little call out. Has to do with dragons. Because most, if not all, really good stories, which is an elaborated metaphor, I believe, involve at least one dragon. And if dragons are anything like me, which they're probably not, but if they were, what was occurring to me is that they all probably have mothers. There's that possession thing again. Thank you for your very careful attention.